Welcome to SIssues. We are two sisters with issues and a need to work them out, and we're inviting you along for the ride.
Here we are taking the big things we have in common. Our love for Outlander, inappropriate humor, and why people do the things they do. Mix this up with our dirty lady mo's, and this podcast is born.
But don't worry, we'll explore other issues too.
Because you know,
when you have sisters, you have issues.
If you are easily offended or don't appreciate the creative use of colorful Canadian cursive language, this is not the podcast for you.
Alrighty, so we are back with another freaking episode. Woohoo!
I'm Sher.
And I am Phil, and we are back with our watch party of Outlander Rewatch.
With SIssues.
Yes, exactly. So today we are watching Season 3, Episode 6, A. Malcolm. I can't believe we're here already. A. Malcolm.
A. Malcolm. A. Malcolm. Not A. Malcolm.
Right. Not A. Right.
A.
Not
A?
as in Canadian A, but the letter A.
Letter A for apple.
So
No,
now
Alexander.
Yeah, this is not Sesame Street. So this is for the big girls. Right?
A for Alexander.
Alexander. Yes, that's right. Alrighty, guys. So make sure that you have, this is a long episode. This one's like
really
74 minutes. Yeah, 74 minutes. So
1
girls,
hour and 14 minutes.
make sure that you have your popcorn, your soda, your whiskey, whatever it is you need. Nice fuzzy blanket if you need that too. But yeah, I think we're ready to roll. So make sure you skip the recap and go directly to, I think, what was the time on that one? Sure, it was 1:14:20.
Yeah.
And then get ready to hit play. So.
And Phyllis does not want to waste any time today. She wants her Jamie.
No, well, this is a long episode, and I'm super excited that now we're out of 1968 and we're jumping right back into where Jamie is.
See, that's what I said. And she said, no, and she literally just confirmed what I said. So we're going to count down, and one, I'm telling you, we're going to count down, and when I get to 1, you're going to press play. All right?
Okay.
So 3, 2, 1. That is it.
And this is a cold open, so we don't actually start at the music. So if you're at the music, hit pause because you've gone too far. I did not like her as soon as I saw her. I'm like, who the hell is this woman? And get off of Jamie.
This woman is Ciel de Bleu, or
Yes.
Madame Jean.
Madame Jean.
Yeah. It's like, oh, look at him with his fancy scarf.
I know. And just to look in her face after he left, I'm like, yeah, no, you don't have anything. No.
She wants to tap that.
Yeah, she does. But
And look how good he looks. Like, who looks good in a fucking tricorn? Really?
you see, what I really like about this is it's a really slow build.
Right.
You know what? This is a day in life of Jamie. We don't know what he's been up to, right?
Yep.
Since he left Hellwater. We have no idea. So this is really kind of cool to see the day in the life before he gets a surprise.
But see, and that's where people were like, they're like, what? We saw Claire see him. What is happening right now?
I know, but I love that they keep going back and forth because it gives you both sides of the story, right? Even though the books are based on Claire's point of view, I love how they keep going back and forth like that. So, yeah. And even to, how he's got to get dressed to work the print machine, how he does the print machine, I think that's so cool.
It is. It's very cool. And look, he looked at it like he had some pride in it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like cleaning off that little side is like to polish up my A.
So do you think that he got into the printing business hoping that she would eventually see something? And why didn't he purposely print something that talks about Claire?
You know what I mean? To Claire.
Right? Why didn't he publish something like that? Maybe she could have found that. Like, he should have thought about that a little bit better.
Maybe.
Just saying.
Maybe he did. We just don't know.
I don't know because, yeah. He knew that she was a traveler, right? Mm-hmm. He knew that she went to the future. And even just a message to her, you know? I don't understand why he didn't do that.
Me neither.
No, that's crazy. Who could it be? Lurking in the shadows.
Oh, it's my buddy.
I don't like how he kind of puts them down and they're his followers. And, you know, that's so mean, I think.
You know what? It reminds me of, your friends that you just kind of goof with all the time. That there's just, this is Kiki Fleming on the left. Kiki's a buddy of mine. I absolutely like, we chat and we have a good time. I interviewed him a couple of times. I met him in Outlandish Vancouver. He has my beaver on his fridge.
Yep. And that's true story, people. True story. Yep.
It is.
Maybe you should explain why your beaver is on Kiki's fridge.
Well, I gave him my beaver when we were in Outlandish Vancouver. And he kept it and he loves it. And he says he looks at it every day. Yeah. It's actually a refrigerator magnet with a beaver and a Canadian flag. So, but yeah, that's Kiki. And then we also have James Allen Kirby, who is Hayes beside him. So it's Leslie and Hayes. They're the great dynamic duo. They help Jamie with his sedition, printing stuff. And up there's Geordie, who is Lauren McDonald, who's a pious little bugger.
He does such a great job holding his character. It's almost like I'm too good to be here.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And of course, Leslie and Hayes just rib him to death.
And Leslie and Hayes were with him when he was in prison. So that's how they know each other. So yeah.
And Jamie was kind of like their their laird. Yep, they call him McDo. And he was what kept everybody, together while they were in Ardsmuir. And, he told them stories. Yeah. He was the one that went to the lack for a better word, warden, Lord John, and the other one that was, the head of the prison, for the men. He spoke for them. So, they looked up to him, and these ones obviously followed him. Yeah. So they really, they not only worked for him, but they really looked up to him, and he was their laird. He is their laird. Yeah, so exactly. It's a really nice relationship. He goofs with them. Yeah, but, you can tell he truly loves them and cares for them. And the reason why they work for him is because he takes care of them.
Yeah, exactly. Still. Yeah.
And Sam Hewen learned how to work an actual press.
He did.
From that day.
For the credits, when it goes to where he's peeling off the paper, that took a couple times to do, but it's expected. But no, he did learn how to do it, and this is an actual old printing press.
Yep. Yeah.
This is how it was done back then.
Mm-hmm. And they built this whole set, like John Gary Steele, they did a remarkable job. And it was Sam's idea to get the glasses for older Jamie.
Yep. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Like the makeup department did a really good job as well. They added small details. And the reason being is Claire, she aged minimally, but she aged, right? Yeah. And the same with Jamie. They didn't want to add too much because the reason being, a lot of people aged horribly back then, but Jamie had the advice from Claire. Yeah. Eat your greens.
Exactly.
Take care of your teeth, do these things. And he was able to age a little bit more gracefully. Oh, and the bell, and there you go. We turn around.
I know. I love that. Because it showed his face, right? Yeah. We were only looking at his ponytail before, right?
Uh-huh. And he's bunchy bum.
Yeah. Yeah. Same clip. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Now, the music.
Good night, Jamie. Night.
Let's go finish.
Sleepy time now.
Yeah. I love how we got it all from a different angle.
Yeah, I love that.
Know? And now we get the music.
Yeah.
Now we cut to our.
I like it when they do the cold start. I like it when they just kind of give you a little bit of tidbit. And I think it was good that they broke it up that way, right? That it was a slow start, and then they let you get to the same spot where she finished with her previous episode, right?
Yeah, so. With her look of, oh, what did I do? Oh, no, I broke them.
Yep. What happened? I don't think she's ever seen Jamie faint before. Maybe on the floor of the prison, but yeah, that was it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was more out of pure pain.
Pain and suffering.
Yeah, this time it's just out of pure shock.
Can you imagine running into the love of your life after 20 years and not knowing their life? And you're there. Do they still love you? Do they, what's going on with it? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's just craziness. It's an absolute, a mind fuck. Like, really.
I know. Exactly.
Yeah, it's
100%.
Yeah, and this was one of my absolute favorites. Like, I mean, I know a lot of fans had problems with this episode, and they just didn't like how they adapted it. And I loved it. I smacked Andrew. I love how they did this Matt B. Roberts song. That was beautiful. But yeah, I absolutely adored it.
I like this, her coming into focus and him waking up, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he looks like he's just waking up from being passed out. So
and when she touches when she touches him, it's just
she's afraid to touch him, right? She doesn't know. Should I not?
He's like, holy shit, you're real.
I know. Just touching her hand, like he almost looks like the colors drained from his face.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're alive.
Yeah,
you're real.
How he said her name, like Claire, like he hasn't said it in so long, right?
And I thought he pissed himself.
Yeah,
he knocked over the ale pot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I absolutely. I so adored this, and
he's just trying to be formal here, right? He doesn't. Yeah. A lot of people I don't freaking understand why he did that. That's his wife, but he's being formal. He's not understanding what's going on right now. So
and that's the thing. He's in shock.
Yeah.
And when you're reading a book, your mind can be expanded more with your imagination. When you're watching TV, when you've got this right in your face, it's a lot harder to expand your imagination because it's not your imagination. It's in your face. So a lot of things had to be adjusted, and you can totally understand why. I can anyway.
I love it when she says, I never took it off. It's like it just hit him right there in his heart. And then right away, it's like, I want to kiss you. His body is just remembering, right?
It's like a physical memory.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pulling him towards her.
And everybody is waiting for this freaking kiss.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody. And they did a good job with it.
Oh, yeah.
Like it wasn't overly passionate, but it was like a longing.
A tentative,
need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So good. And just how they hold each other, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I remember this. This is so good.
This is exactly how it's supposed to feel.
Not like all tonguey and yucky. Yeah. It was just like, I missed you kiss.
Yeah. Yep. And just keeping their foreheads together,
Yeah.
you know, like it's just perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
I agree. I loved it.
And they're looking at each other like it's not a look of elation. It's not a look. It's just a look of longing.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like 20 years of longing. And yeah, I love this.
Yeah, me too.
There's no way that, I mean, I'd have his pants off in 3 seconds. But,
his pants are off, Sherry.
Oh, right.
My pants are off.
That's right. Now, see, the reason why they're not showing a full shot is it would look pretty funny with his old boner hanging out, not sticking up there.
Yeah, his shirt would be draped over his wiener. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird that you still call it a wiener.
It's a wiener.
It's so
go for it. Now this kiss is a little bit
more passionate.
Yeah, just a little bit.
She's moving right in. Oh, there's old Geordie.
No, orgies in the afternoon.
It's so funny though. An orgy is way more than 2 people, Geordie.
But he's young.
Know.
What does he know? It ain't even noon. Noon.
It's like, okay, well, I'll have to take care of that later.
Yeah. And she's like, oopsie. And how dare she tell him to put some pants on? Is she ill? Did the time travel do something to her brain? And why is she looking up? I'd be like, hi, honey.
I've missed you.
Oh, no pants for you today.
Man, I'd be asking him to lift up the back of that shirt.
And I think he asked her because he just still wasn't sure what the hell was going on. You need to come with me because if I go through this room and you're gone, that means I'm mentally insane. I just want to make sure I'm still sane.
Well, and there's, I mean, this is a lot. Like, I mean, it's,
Well, it's a lot for both of them. Even though she knew she was going there and she knew that he was alive, she still knows nothing about his life, about him right now, right? So it's still just as new to the both of them.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I was, you know, I know the costuming and stuff like that is, you know, accurate to the history and stuff like that. I was a little surprised by the man Prees here.
Yeah. But we don't see it with the boots on, right?
Right.
Yeah. Because his boots are so tall.
Yeah.
And there's an Easter egg shortly in this little, this set.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
They have lots of them in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved.
I'm glad she brought the pictures. I'm glad she brought the pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, he was there was a different reaction in the books that so many fans were upset that he didn't have when he looked at them here. But I quite liked the way, because he was like, you know, not really sure of anything, right? He's still kind of trepidatious. And I believe it was Sam's choice when looking at the pictures to do this. And I quite understand it. I actually believe the way it happened for the show was the right choice. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, and that's cool. We don't all have to agree on everything.
So you see that bookshelf on the left of Sam? Don't know if you're going to catch it or not, but John Gary Steele put Diana's book Drums of Autumn on that shelf.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Don't pause it while you're watching the podcast. You can go back and see if you can find it. It's hard to see.
Which is, of course, the season that this is based on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really surprised, though, that she did bring the picture of Brianna in the bikini, knowing the era that she was going to. I was a little surprised she did that.
I think, well, it was a matter of, you know, seeing as much of her as possible without seeing all of her, right? That kind of idea. But, and, you know, brought up many times about, you know, the way things are in the future and why Jamie, you know, would never quite be able to be there and make sense of it.
And him seeing, because this is how he pictures Brianna. Right. This is how he pictures his child still as a baby.
Right.
You know, even though 20 years have passed, like he said, he always pictures her as a baby.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And even seeing pictures in the first place would be so weird. Like,
I know.
Like such a odd thing in the first place.
Oh, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is so, yeah. Now, see, this is where in the book he went completely to pieces and landed in her lap and just, you know, and for Sam, that just didn't seem like it was, you know,
it's even out of character for him to do, you know,
right. In a moment like that. Well, he felt it was out of Jamie's character in that moment. And in that, you know, so, you know, you have to respect his process as an actor to, you know.
But I could see him having all these questions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Because those would have been things that he would have listened to, that he would have liked to have seen, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The important moments for him.
Right. Exactly. And I understand too how, you know, these pictures, you know, that Claire would think that, you know, these are all things that I can mention, and like that it would make Jamie in this moment think about, you know, his other child.
Yes. And I think that's why, you know, he goes from that once he finds out enough information, then he tells her right away, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love how he just said that to her. Like, just completely validated her. Like, she
you
was
always
like,
were.
I'm a surgeon. You always were one. Like, that makes
exactly.
sense, you know? And for a man of that time, you know,
huge.
Like, yeah. Yeah. And see, these things,
I think, like, they'll come back to play later on, right?
Right. Yeah. And that's thanks to Frank.
Yes.
You know, and he's like, holy shit, I just saw my daughter naked. What?
Yeah, exactly. Because he doesn't know what those other things are. They could be handkerchiefs. He doesn't know.
Exactly.
Because they didn't wear underwear back then.
Right.
So,
she's sitting next to this punk. I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those are tiny fish.
Yep. They sure
Smelts, maybe.
Yeah.
Smelts on a string. Yeah. On a string.
Now, see, and this is where another big uproar was that he went and got his picture of Willie.
Yeah.
Because he didn't tell her in the books for quite some time.
Right.
After. But it made sense to me.
Yes. In the moment, it does.
Yeah, absolutely. Because why keep that secret from her when she is showing him pictures? This is one thing that he has of Willie.
Yeah.
Is a picture, right?
And he hasn't told anybody.
No.
Just her.
Right. So. And it, you know, it's one thing. Like, he keeps something old from her, but he doesn't keep this from her.
Right.
And that's important to him.
Yeah.
And it's Brianna's brother.
Yeah. Exactly. Right? And I think that's why he had that overwhelming need to tell her right away, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's her brother, but it's also his child, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and I think it's important for people to remember that for Jamie, just because William wasn't born from a relationship of love, does not mean William isn't as important to him.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's still his son.
Yeah.
Right. Brianna was born of a relationship of love. She's his daughter. It doesn't mean that he loves her any more than he loves William.
Absolutely.
Right. So people have to remember that. But it seems like fans put William and Brianna into a different box.
They shouldn't be.
No, they shouldn't be. That's like, like asking a mother or any father to, put their children, say, oh, who do you love more? Like
they're both the same because they were both children he could not raise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're in the same boat.
Mm-hmm. Well, any parent, it doesn't matter if you raise them or not, both your children, oh, well, I love this one more because, no.
Yeah, exactly. No. Well, I don't know why they're just not doing it on the bed yet.
Well, you have to kind of give these things time.
But I think this is good. Now he's wondering why are you here?
Yeah.
How come?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're 100% valid question, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And let's face it, a lot of fans just want them, including you and me, just kind of want them to, she's sitting on that bed, just bang, just get over with.
Yeah. But we need this. We need this.
Yes.
We need to understand what's going on in each of their heads. And it would be natural to have the questions, right?
Well, you would have to. And there's been 20 years.
Yeah. I think, though, had he told her right then and there about Leary, she would have left.
Hello.
Because at that point, they weren't intimate. They only had a kiss. They're still learning. Would have been easier for her to walk away. And I understand why he didn't. I still understand why he was with her, but still.
Spoiler.
Well, hopefully they've watched the series or read the books, because I don't know how many times we got to say, do not watch us unless you have watched the entire series.
I love this part. I love.
Me too. Oh, Fergus is so grown up.
Now he's looking so good, so suave. And see, we have to remember, like, Jamie's got shit to do. He's got a life.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got meetings. He's got stuff he's got to do. Fergus. And she recognizes him right away.
I know, right?
Lady,
well, as soon as he said, me lady, right?
Yeah. Oh, and the hug. Oh, look how he grabs onto her. It's just it's like seeing his mother come to life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, oh my God, you're so handsome.
Yes, I know I am. You're right.
Yeah, you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
And then
it's
she
not
sees
lying.
his hand. What?
You can feel it.
Yeah, and look at her. She's like, oh, my poor boy.
Yeah,
and that's exactly the look on her face, was like, oh.
But it wasn't a hand in the book. It was a hook.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad they did a hand, because I ain't no pirate.
The hook. I like the hook every once in a while, like, because he did both. Well, he didn't do a wooden hand.
No.
What he had in the book was like a hand stuffed with sand and straw or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the wooden hand's pretty cool. I like how they carved that out.
Yeah, I think that was a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's so tall, right?
Oh, yeah. And it's the Caesar Dumb Boy. He is a magnificent French
very
actor.
Eclectic young man.
And he looks quite a bit like the young Fergus that they had as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
The way he holds her and she looks at him like, it's just like, I can't believe my boy. And now he's like, I gotta take you away for a second. He's like, okay, dude, did you tell her?
And this is the first hint that we get that something's going on with Jamie. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I kind of had a feeling too that, hey, he was married, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I just think back, this is the Fergus that wanted to protect her. And, I love that.
Yeah, exactly. So, he's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
He's like, he just has this sensitivity to him. The look in his eyes is like, I just, my Lord, I love you, but this is my lady. She is my mama.
Yeah.
Right? He's just
make it right. Mm-hmm. I don't want to lie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she feels like she feels like this interloper a little bit, you know, like that's not something that you can predict is going to happen, right? All she was thinking about is getting there and seeing Jamie. She like really wasn't thinking too much further ahead than that.
No, not at all. And now she's probably feeling like the 12th wheel. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like he's got this life, he's doing these things, and I'm along for the ride, and I have no idea where we're going or what we're doing or how we're playing, or it's got to be so like, disarming.
Yeah. And I think he's frustrated too that he's got to deal with this stuff right now, and he just wants to, you know, get her back. You know what I mean? Like just the two of them. So
yeah, for sure. Completely agree. And oh boy, I'm really glad that they have this character in the show. This is Gary Young, and he plays Mr. Willoughby, or Yi Ting Chow.
Yi Ting Chow.
Yeah, Cho. Sorry. Very bad accent. Because I don't want to sound like I'm being at all, you know.
And did she say, it just cracks me up. He licked my elbow.
Okay.
Who licks the elbow? I guess
without consent. Without consent.
And he's supposed to pay me a penny.
The thing is, Mr. Willoughby, and I don't like calling him that either, because it's given, you know, it's a whitewashy name for him.
Yeah.
The thing is that I love the way they chose to portray him in the show.
Yes.
Because honestly, the way he's portrayed in the book, I hated it.
Yeah.
I thought it was horrible. It was stereotypical. It was insulting. And I don't say that about very many things about the book. I don't care if people say that's the way it was. You don't know that. You weren't there. Yeah. And I just was really, really off put by it.
Yeah.
So I love the way they did it in the show. And I think Gary Young is a phenomenal actor. If you want to see a great interview with him, please check out Outlander Behind the Scenes, or Outlander_BTS, OutlanderBTS.com with Courtney Williams. She does an interview with him, and you can find it on YouTube too.
That's awesome.
Great interview. Really great interview.
Now, getting to know him throughout, you know, the next few episodes and things like that, I still don't understand why I licked her elbow.
He likes the elbows.
No, but it doesn't come to play in any other time.
I like chewing on Andrew's elbow.
No, it's like gum. It just doesn't make sense to me. I get it if maybe he sniffed her boob or something like that, but licked her elbow. It just doesn't seem like his kind of thing, because he's so deeply spiritual. Poetic. I don't understand the poetry behind an elbow.
Right. There was I think it was something that they grabbed from the book, because in the book he's like this depraved sex, you know, like it is just, you know, so they grabbed a little nugget out of the book, and then, but he was supposed to be like out of his mind, loaded at that point in time too. Once I sat him down, he wasn't. Like, it was like in that moment, like that's why he got called, because he was and then all of a sudden he was, you know, perfectly fine.
Well, and Claire has this connection with him right away. They were able to just start having a fluid conversation. So that's good.
While he was supposedly drunk.
No.
And there's Sir Percival, little stinkhead.
What?
Paul Brightwell plays him, and he's in it a few times, but he's a dink.
Oh, see, she didn't even pour anything in a cup. She didn't even pour it, and he's like, "Thank you. Pour me some air. I'm so drunk."
No more for you, boo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when we go to Scotland, we're going to have to go to these little hole-in-the-wall pubs and, you know, just sit around and see if we can actually translate what people are saying. I think that'd be so cool.
They can pour me some air, and then our husbands can get some real shit.
Exactly. We'll just do the driving or the guiding.
Yeah. We'll let them pour air, because apparently that's what they do.
I wonder if that's free. I wonder if air is free in Scotland.
I bet you it is.
Woohoo! I can afford that.
And Claire has a little bit of a different approach to people because of where she's from. She treats people with respect and dignity, and Jamie a little bit has but he still has this more of a I will do for you if it's more of a boss employee kind of thing, and he helped him out, but
this makes me laugh. Not even a second thought to bring her to the brothel. Not even a second thought.
Well, that's where he lives-ish, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like, what you doing? Look at these guys in the background.
I know. Just going hog town.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I wonder, how many times Jamie had to use the service.
I don't think he did.
I don't know, because he still had the need, because she mentioned, like when you felt that you needed to release, and he kind of looked embarrassed. What did you do when you had that need? And he's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think he'd use a whore though.
No, I don't think he'd use a whore. No,
I don't think he'd. I think he'd just whack off like any other guy.
Yeah,
I don't think he was a big one because he knew sex and intimacy. So that was such a personal thing. Geneva kind of made it, like it was a had to spot. When he made love to what was her name? Brain fart in the cave.
Ooh. Oh, Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, that was not desire as much as it was a need.
Especially for what he was heading into, right?
Yeah.
He didn't know how long he was going to be in prison. And I think it was important that happened, for both of them.
Yeah, it was a need. It was an intimacy. It was a comfort.
And Claire, she just looks,
Yeah.
Claire looks done like, we're staying here.
Yeah. You have a room in a brothel.
Now I think he's starting to get it because he can sense that
she's
uncomfortable.
Oh, a brothel. This is interesting. And now he's feeling a little shame. Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, but typical guy doesn't think about it right away, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, yeah, right. Kind of really didn't think this one through very well.
No. And there was a lot of thought put into this room because remember, they're reconnecting again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after they make love, they're sitting around that little table. It's the same as when they were married, right? It's reconnecting, getting to know each other all over again.
Yeah, it has a lot of the wedding interlaced in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of nice that way. And I really love the awkwardness because it's like 20 years go by. I mean, even like my husband and I, Andrew was in the military and he would go away for months at a time. And even when he came back after months away, it was, sometimes it was awkward, you being gone, and it was different. And it was like, we got into I was into a different routine with the kids, and with the, having him back was weird sometimes. And even our intimacy was like, getting back into a rhythm and into a pattern was different. So it goes the same for other people, that your partner goes away for a year, and when you get back together, it's not like just hopping back in the sack and like being exactly the way it was. It feels, you have to take your time together to get to know each other again. And it's not just getting to know each other, mentally and spiritually, it's physically as well.
Yeah. It was nice to hear him, call her Sassenach and Bonnie and Down again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and now more questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that they could get back the fact that he's living in a brothel.
Yeah. And I'm sure for her.
And I think it was a good question that he asked her, like, how, after all these years, did you realize that I was alive?
Yeah.
I was surprised he didn't I'm surprised he didn't ask the question when he first saw her.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, my mic screen fell and I'm trying to move it very softly.
I'm laughing at her for doing so.
It's only because my arm banged it. Stupid arm. I even have it inside my hoodie.
Arm. It's her stupid arm. It's not
doing whatever the hell it wants to. Stupid arm. I don't have any handcuffs. I didn't bring those from home, so can't do anything with it. It has a mind of its own.
I have a pair.
Yeah, I don't want to touch those. That's disgusting. And where the heck did you put your swing? Did you get rid of it?
Because it used to be where it is right now.
It's probably in one of the hidden rooms down here. She has one of those sex swings that hang from the ceiling. You want to try it? No, I don't know what's all over it. Blech. It's disgusting.
Clean. I am not that sick. Thank you very much.
Yuck. And it's nothing you want to keep hanging around.
Okay, guys. No pun intended. Do we need to hear all of my secrets? Honestly? Right now? We're talking about Jamie and Claire. They would have a sex swing if it was available. You know they would.
Oh, that would be dangerous. Yeah. But I love how she's kind of now like playing with him, how do you know what I'm like? Mm-hmm. She's now being the not aggressor, but
she's always been that way.
Yeah.
She's always been that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like this. Come on, you guys. Let's get this ball rolling. Woo! Party time.
And of course, knockety knock knock. And
of course. Damn it.
They look like a couple caught teenagers, for God's sakes. Like it was so funny that she's like, I know what you guys are gonna do.
Well, she works in a whorehouse. Of course she knows what they're gonna do.
But yeah, the thing is that he doesn't usually get the hears, and this is some classy looking lady.
And that is one small glass.
It's a shot glass.
Tell you. Yikes.
That is a shot glass.
And a little bigger, but it's still tiny for them.
He's like, this is not the same Claire I know. She only took a sip.
And they decided to sit down and eat first?
They need their energy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, this is like the wedding night when they sat and talked and ate and filled each other.
Because they don't know anything about each other right now.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. So they're taking this little bit of time to get to know each other.
Yeah. And that's important. Oh, look at him
rubbing
those grapes.
It's like a nipple.
And
she got it. And she's just staring him down like, I want your body.
Yeah.
And I think that his side of the table is tipping up a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, they touched each other.
Well, she reached for something. He grabbed her hand. Like, it wasn't they reached for something at the same
Wouldn't it have been perfect if she would have said, to bed or to sleep?
Yeah.
Wish she would have said that. Then that would have been 100% representation of the wedding night.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I love how they go through the whole slowly undressing each other. And, I'm glad she explained the zipper to him.
Yeah. And it's the way she looked over at the bed,
it's just kind of bashful. Okay, I'll start to undress.
And it is too, because, they're 20 years older, right?
Yeah.
Like when she was in her 20s and getting undressed, like she had this, she has a beautiful body. And 20 years later, she still has a beautiful body.
But what I like about Katrina is she's A regular woman. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? She used to be a model, and I think that's more apparent in season 1. But
Yeah.
I think now she looks like just an amazing looking woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just her.
For sure.
Not implants, not butt lift, no, nothing like that. It's just her. And that's what I love.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's softened. Like she's, you know, she doesn't, I'm not saying that she doesn't, you know, work out or any of those things, but she, you know, she's not like, you know, Sam's in the gym every single day and, you know, but, you know, she, you know, she's done marathons and stuff like that, but she self-admittedly just, you know, is. And it's nice to not see Claire in this, you know, ripped, you know, she looks like a woman, right?
Well, and if you look at their faces now they're getting more comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I remember this. I remember this.
And this is erotic, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it is.
It's slow. And there's that little grin of his, that one-sided grin that Jamie has in the books and that Sam adopted. You know, he chose to do that in season 1. He took those little things that Diana put in the book and made for himself.
I didn't like when she took down her hair. It looks way too puffy.
No, I loved it. I loved it because she's not perfect.
No, I know that. It just like it's sticking later on. It relaxes. It relaxes. Like even there, it relaxed. Yeah. Right. So But when she first initially takes it, I was like, oh my God.
I love that she made her own bum roll.
Yeah.
And, you know, like so that she was, you know, in time.
And I just think this is cute. Like this would be cute as an outfit. Like even today, I love that. Not necessarily the skirt and the bum roll, but the corset and stuff. Yeah, love that. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the one you want.
Yep, right there.
And he just quickly whoop, it's down. No playing around.
Take these suckers off. I wish those shirts weren't so damn long. Oh, it's a zipper. Look, it's super cool. He's like, this is interesting.
Oh, I bet you he really likes it though, because it didn't take him like a minute to get all the laces undone.
Oh
like, yeah,
that's a nifty.
See, he's happy about that.
Yep. That's the way it goes.
Yep. They're almost there.
You can see how nervous she is now.
Yeah.
Like, oh boy, this is the big reveal.
Yeah.
And he even takes the time to do the little tiny knot at the top. Was not necessary at all. But
and it's a full body drop here, people. Full body drop.
Yep. Yep. And that's the thing. She doesn't look exactly the same as she looked in season 1.
No.
Because it's been a few years, guys, but it hasn't been 20 years. But I have a feeling that Katrina's not going to look that much different.
No. No.
And he's just like still in awe of her, you know, because that's what love is.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a look of relief and disbelief,
shyness, and
you know, it's
but I like that. I know there was some controversy, you know, people saying, oh, they didn't use the same scars for his back, you know, but
they did.
It's exactly the same scars.
They're
because some people were saying, you know, it looks like there's more or whatever. But no, it's exactly the same template as I had in season 1. So
except for they've aged 20 years, just like Jamie has.
Exactly. So little less red. Yeah.
Yeah. And they use, it's not just the makeup they use. It's not just because it's a big, it's like a big slab of silicone. And then, you know, they use makeup. And then they also use a little bit of CGI or whatever, the graphic effects too. So And he gets all of those scars put on every single time.
Hour and a half, just under hour and a half it takes to get that on.
You know, the ones for his hands, the ones for his chest, the one for his leg, the one for his back.
Kudos to the makeup department for remembering all those little tiny scars and injuries and all of that, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they have a map of Jamie.
And it's so funny. Matt Roberts really wanted this to not sink. He felt it was so important that it didn't sink because they weren't in sync, right?
Right.
So,
to be awkward and nutty and, you know, just to, you know, and I love how he kissed her nose better.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. And it was funny for her to say, you broke my nose, and she's the doctor. And he's like, no, it's not. You're not all bloody.
Yeah. You didn't make this crazy crunchy noise.
Yeah, exactly. And Claire, your head hit a pillow. It's not like it hit the bedpost or anything. So dramatic.
But still.
One of my favorite parts of this, and don't be gentle. I love that. Yeah.
It's been quite a while since
a long time
to enjoy.
Yeah. Look at her face. It's like, oh my God, this is really happening.
And not only that, it's almost like she's remembering what this was like, right? She's remembering the, you know, everything about him. And, you know, And they're Claire's going for runs.
Yeah, she's running. Yeah. And I love how he tells her, give me your mouth. Because she's done. His turn.
Yeah.
Go for it. Run, Claire, run.
They're so good together. Like,
yeah, they are.
No wonder people get confused between the characters and the people.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, it's official. They're back together. Entirely.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think Jamie's going to get a wink of sleep this night.
No,
not at all. Aww. And I'm really glad for Claire because it really, really has been an awfully long time for her.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
And him too. You know, since he's truly made love.
Exactly. Well, it's been as long as her.
Even if he has, you know, relieved himself with women or whatever, you know, he hasn't, you know, this is the first time for both of them for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, being in each other's arms, feeling love and, you know, comfort and like, look at them. They're at peace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's going to go on for another few hours at least.
Yeah.
And I'm sure neither of them care. How tired, how sore, don't matter.
Oh.
Yeah.
And she's just, you know, like you remember what she was like, you know, with Frank and, you know, and then the longing, like laying beside Frank and masturbating, thinking of Jamie.
Yeah.
And, you know, like this look on her face now is just, it's so good to see her satisfied again. You know,
back like she was, you know, because she was so involved in work and, you know, that just consumed her. I'm sure it was a great thing to help heal her broken heart, you know, doing all of that and caring for Brianna. I think she just got so deep into her routine, you know what I mean? That her routine became life for her.
Yeah.
When it really wasn't, you know, she was missing that love, that connection.
Yeah, you just didn't see that look of smile and satisfaction, and you know,
definitely not the same.
She's returned. Claire has returned.
Yay!
Yeah,
Well, it's good to see them together again.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting, because we'll see some changes and, little bits that will change coming up. But
yeah,
I really love how this episode worked out.
I think they did a really good job transitioning from them being in their own individual lives to now they're together again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he looks like he's been sweating a lot. His hair looks really disheveled.
He's glistening.
Yeah, he looks messy. Well, and so does she, but he looks a little bit more worse for the wear, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then the questions continue.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, she's looking at like, this isn't the body of a printer.
Yeah. Well, and I can't see my Jamie just being a printer.
He's got to be up to some other shit.
Yeah. It wouldn't be Jamie without being Jamie if he wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Unless, he was back at, Lollybrock or, but what is he doing out here? What's he up to?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to refuel, recharge.
Mm-hmm.
The camera work here is just amazing.
Yeah, didn't do too bad of a job.
Really good. He's at the wrong angle, though. Stupid cameraman. Some people just need to be fired.
The best way to, make sure you don't get any food on your clothes is just to eat naked, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And I am not complaining that he's eating naked. I just do not like the cameraman from this episode. And whoever you are, you're fired.
I think it's long past. You're long past, and you have no power over him. So I don't.
You know what? But I have the power of my opinion, and getting it whether he wants it or not.
This so reminds me of the picture that she had when she was masturbating.
Yeah.
Remember the look, like when he was kneeling in front of the fire and looking over it. But this just reminds me so much of that look.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
And that was a good look to, do her business with.
Mm-hmm. Jeez, giggles.
And I don't know why he's being so secretive about what he does. He's making her guess. It's like, just freaking tell her. Let's just move on.
Right. Well, I think it's kind of, it's playful. It's,
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's, and kind of, I don't know if he feels no, he probably doesn't feel any shame, but what's it? Butt shot there, I tell you.
That was a close-up butt shot. Even.
Right. It's like right in my face. Glad he didn't bend over. Didn't want to see chocolate starfish.
No, but you also would have seen the kibbles in bits and bits and bits and bits. I know we're sexualizing Jamie. You're welcome.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, are we sexualizing Jamie, or is he sexualized because he's naked and wandering around after they just had sex?
All I'm saying is thank you.
Oh my gosh. Seriously now. I happen to appreciate a beautiful body, regardless of the gender. Yeah. So I'm just saying, I was talking about Claire's beautiful body earlier because I think she has a tremendous figure.
Yeah.
And, I would love to have it myself. But I think they're both beautiful people. I admire both of them.
Yeah. Well, I do. I'm so happy they're together and they can just get back to business. So much talking, so little time.
You need so much talking, so little fucking.
It's nice that they're starting to get comfortable.
Yeah, they've been apart for a long time. So,
Yeah.
even Sam and Kat said, the time apart was really interesting, but when they got back together, it felt comfortable again. Right. And, it's because they're like best friends.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. And it's really good that they have that rapport. So,
yeah.
And he just had an opening. He could have told her, but he didn't want to spoil the mood, I don't think. So
that'd be a really bad time to.
Again, let's not tell her the truth.
But it's, waiting for the right time.
There's never a right time to tell Claire that you married Mary. Never is there ever a right time to say those words.
Well, and the thing is, too, almost in anything in life, any difficult conversation, right? We always say we're trying to wait for the right time.
Yeah.
People say we're waiting for the right time to have kids. We're waiting for
when we can afford.
There's never a time. There's never a time. So
just do it.
Just pick a date and do it.
Yeah.
So Jamie, just pick a moment and do it.
Exactly.
Because otherwise you never will. And it'll pop up on you when you least expect it to, and the consequences and the ramifications are going to bite you in the frickin' ass.
Yep.
And they're just, they're so cute together.
So much conversation, and right time for the conversation for sure. I like how it flowed. It wasn't uncomfortable. So.
Right. These two.
And they're just enjoying each other, which is nice.
You can't blame them.
No. And see, how erotic would that be? Just staring each other down and slow and
that's what it was like after he gave her the pearls.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
It was that connection, and that you're deep into it with somebody that you truly love, is when you make that one connection, because that's not an easy thing to do.
No.
Look into somebody's eyes when you're making love with them. It's
a very vulnerable place to be, right? But then you've reached a certain level of intimacy when you can, right?
It's a true level of intimacy when you can do that with somebody.
Yeah, I like how he scrapes her shoulder, just like, because that can be a turn on.
That sounded so gross. Sounded like you were gonna hawk a loogie.
Do it that way.
Sound like a scratch at all.
See, I had to take his leg out from underneath the blanket because, dang, my balls are hot.
She's ruminating over this. Oh, I didn't know about this scar here.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah, that's the one that he got from Black Jack.
Yeah.
Culloden, the one that almost killed him, and the one that Jenny ended up pouring boiling hot water into to kill the infection.
Yeah. Yeah. But he doesn't go into the whole blackjack thing. All he says is Culloden, right? And then that just kind of takes them both back, right? Because that's where they last saw each other, and he sent her through the stones. So
and that he didn't die.
Yeah.
And that she could have stayed. But at the same time, if she stayed, he would have ended up in prison anyway. And
yeah.
Or they would have escaped, gone to France, gone to the colonies or something like that. And we don't know what would have happened. Would have been a totally different story regardless. And we're here right now. So
we don't need to start a whole nother angle on this story.
Yeah. Don't need to do that.
Just stick to this one. And maybe we'll do our own story at some point. We could do the whole back and forth, like you start, I'll continue, then you continue from me, and we go back and forth.
There's people that write fanfic. You can go and read that,
Yeah.
There's stuff. I know,
he's pretending to sleep.
I know Diana does not like fan fiction, but there's a lot of people that love fan fiction, and they do.
So I love Jamie's face here because it looks like this guy has been up all night. He is so pale. His lips are pale. Looks like he can't even see his eyelashes. Like
he's just been watching her
all night long
to make sure she doesn't disappear and this hasn't been a dream.
Right? Exactly. He doesn't want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Dude, you're going to need some sleep because
things kind of get busy and crazy.
Yeah.
Guess what? Claire's back in town.
Right? So Claire equals trouble.
Always has, always will.
Yeah.
Did you forget that part?
Yeah. So enjoy this moment while you can, because it is most definitely not going to last. No. And the sad thing is he's forgotten all about it right now.
Sure.
Yeah. Just give it a few minutes.
Oh, darn. Don't you know it?
Yeah.
Don't you know it?
But you know what? Like they said, what is it between us two? Is it normal? And I think when you find that person, you just feel that way. Like I feel that way about my husband. I ask him, like, I don't understand it. Like, I'm so glad that we met, and it just felt different. And, for those that find that true person for them, I think they feel that way. Absolutely. Sometimes they question the connection because how can this be real?
Yeah. True story.
Whether you find it when you're 15 and in high school, or whether you find it in college, or whether you find it when you're 50, 60, 70 years old, I just hope everybody finds it at least once in their life.
And if you find it with yourself, I mean, that's the thing. I think there's different kinds of love, and I think there's different kinds of bonds, and I think there's different kinds, soulmates, right? Some soulmates are male and female. Some soulmates are and depending on who you love, right? Like it can be, lesbian, can be binary, can be whatever that is. But I think even if you're heterosexual and you have a best friend, that can be your soulmate.
Of course.
I truly believe that if you have a connection, and I think a lot of people don't know that and dismiss it and think that they have to have a partner, sexual partner.
Right.
And I think sometimes even people who are really introverted and comfortable with their own company, and, even if they just have a pet and they're
exactly,
the world is just, puts through their head that they need to have a partner, or they need to have a social life, or they need, this is such a societal thing.
Yeah.
But I think if they are happy and content with themselves, and let go of the societal pressures, then they can be their own soulmate. You know what I mean? I mean, if that's what makes them happy, then all the power to you.
Life isn't the same direction for everybody, and you shouldn't compare your direction to someone else's because it's yours.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. I mean, soulmates come in all shapes and forms and relationships, and never, compare yours to somebody else's.
No.
Because we always end up comparing our lowest to somebody else's highest.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love this. It's like when she looked at him when he was walking out of the room after, he had breakfast of Claire.
Yep. And he did.
Interrupted him.
Yeah. I just,
Claire is the breakfast of champions.
Do a brush your teeth before you go. Otherwise, you're going to have fish for breakfast. It's not good smell for people you're sitting in front of. It's gross.
It's seriously like everybody smells like
yeah.
He probably had some grapes. Had some grapes for breakfast. Some bread that was left over.
I'm surprised she didn't say hasty back. She said hurry back. Should have said hasty back.
Soldier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so nice. I could use a nap right now.
You should go for a nap. Well, after we're done. I mean,
nah. I got up at 3:00 this morning. I have no idea why.
Because you're quiet.
Ridiculous.
She's like, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
so excited.
John Bell, young Ian.
I love John Bell.
Got to meet John Bell too in Vancouver. He is such a fucking delight. He is such a great kid. Well, I call him a kid. He's a young man. And he is the sweetest. Like, he just loves everybody, wants everybody to have a fantastic time, and so gregarious.
And he plays young Ian so well.
Brilliantly.
Like, I couldn't think of anybody else that could go in that role. And I think a lot of us who are part of the fandom, you know, can't see other actors in these roles. And same with a lot of, you know, professionals. They can't see anybody else in the roles. He just does amazing. He owns it.
Yeah, he does. And he has such a spectacular arc with his character, that he played it so well in the start, where he's like this innocent kind of, you know, unworldly, but, you know, really trying hard to impress his Uncle Jamie. And what
surprised me about this part of the conversation is that he said people from Lollybrock thought maybe the fairies came and took her away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, who said that? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, well, how did that become a rumor?
Well, because everybody kind of thought she was, you know, like a changeling kind of person, right? They really didn't, you know. So yeah, all sorts of rumors would be, because nobody from Lollybrock ever kind of left Lollybrock. Remember? Like, that was kind of the way of it.
And I love that he, you know, Uncle Jamie's wife, and that he truly always called her Auntie Claire. You know what I mean? Like, recognized her right away. So, okay. All right.
Give a lot of nod, and I'm going to leave now.
Yeah, exactly.
Never spilt any beans. He was like, got to do this.
And I'm surprised she's actually walking around in her shift.
I'm not. She's like, it's a whorehouse. Fuck, when with whores.
I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I worked up an appetite.
Yep. And this girl here, her name is Christy Strain, and she's been in a lot of stuff, but I recognized her right away from Burnstown, from this thing that Richard Rankin used to be in. It's like a sketch comedy show.
Oh, yeah.
It's hilarious. And he was in it years ago, so you barely recognize him, but it's so funny. And she's in that. And she's a writer and producer of different stuff, but she's so funny.
I love these girls, though. I love the banter, and you know, they're just accepting of her, and you know what I mean. No questions asked. I just love the conversation that they have.
And because Claire is Claire, no judgment, no anything. These are sex workers. This is their job. This is how they make a living. This is what they have to do.
Yeah, that's one thing you really don't need to preach to the prostitutes about, right? How to keep the kitten away.
I think she was just trying to help them out.
Oh, of course.
A little helpful advice.
And they're giving her some.
Yeah.
Wine and a punch. I just love how they talk.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one girl's. Her hair is awful short in the front. Guess it's good though for giving blowjobs, and you don't have to worry about, you know, hair falling in your face.
Yeah. So. Put your finger up his bum, will come way faster.
Yeah, it's true, because that's where a man's G-spot is. And, you know, a lot of guys think, oh, it's so gay, put something up my butt. But that's where your G-spot is, you know, like, hello.
No, it's not gay. It happens to be, you know, something that a lot of men very much enjoy.
Yeah.
So, and guess what? So do a lot of women. So have at her if you like it.
If you like it, do it, people.
And as Mom used to say, don't knock it till you try it.
Exactly.
And when she said that to me one time, I almost fell off my chair. I was like, mother, please not speak of anal sex to me.
And I like how, just look at her face, Madame Jean.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Get to your room.
Now that one is one that really kind of put me off. Madame Jean, you are a madam. You have your employees.
Yep.
Yet you're not wanting them to mix with this lady. Like, you're looking down on them and making her into like what the fuck was that? Like,
exactly. They were just girls having a conversation.
Yeah. So. Oh, and this guy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
This caused a lot of controversy. With the way Claire treated him after the whole thing, but yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I hate how he's like, you don't talk to me like that. You get on the bed and when I'm ready for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And welcome back, Claire.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, Claire.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Back to
reality.
Yeah, because wherever Claire is, there's trouble. So
yeah, there is. And of course, can't go anywhere without a man trying to rape ya. Sisterical. Oh, sisters doing the things they do to one another. This is my favorite.
Okay, well, I like the milkshake part, but okay. So Rojo Sapien on Reddit goes on to say, sister was drinking a vanilla milkshake at a fast food joint. I saw they had mayo packets right next to the straws and instantly formed an idea. I carefully sucked the mayo into the straw so the entire straw was now filled with the stuff. When my sister wasn't looking, I swapped the two straws. She ended up vomiting all over the floor, and still one of the better pranks I have ever pulled.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine?
So fucking funny.
Sucking that up so fast, your mind thinking that it's a vanilla milkshake.
Oh my God.
I hope nobody has a bad gag reflex because I got that tingly feeling in my throat. That's gross.
Oh, please, people, do this video and please and send it to me. I want to see this happening.
Oh my God, that's such a great idea, you guys. If you do that, videotape it, and during our live, we'll actually play it. That would be hilarious. We'll even put it up on our website if you send it to us.
I want to see this happening so bad.
We will share it all over our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. We'll put it on Twitter as well.
Oh God.
That'd be so. We want to see it, guys. We want to see it.
I need to see this. Oh, bring all the milkshakes to our website, please.
Blech.
Please. I need to see this. This is the best. I don't think I've ever played a prank like that on you.
No, you haven't. But I want to see it. I want to see them.
I want to do this to you so badly.
So does anybody else have any disgusting stories? Like, yeah, okay,
Pranks
we're open. Our platform is pretty open. So if you want to go ahead, share your disgusting story, go right ahead. Visit us at our website, SIssues.ca, or if you need to drudge us up on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram to share your disgusting story. All right.
We'll give you a platform to do it.
Blech.